and all the current updates no. Just as I want subscribe here no. But more than brown saka video no subscribe. We are liking and share money as you then in your binti on so keep update and every day. Yeah, candy or the enchemo. In GBA and a Ghana Bar Association for penny phone be. Just as you see, no, estimated amount. Estimated people more bar wanting be defended a year the suspended Chief Justice and a year in the womb yen saying you see all because they don't want the Chief Justice to be removed and it's almost door a year 20. Now these people know he's in Guasia Akroma so no yen Guaseketwa for denigrating their office through the Ghana Bar Association or you could see update or watch as a punishment DH banner said the 18. Afenyo marking so cause some trouble ama a Bagbin. Now Sabri petitions are hold shall see the AP for the removal of a speaker Bagbin because of some Kesi beer abedawa in more realm ye pab because of Afenyo marking MPs for mona course this case it's here a Bagbin. You can go see this latest.
I hear from the woman herself. I will personally write a petition for a removal. If I hear from herself,
maybe we can find sources.
So let's find out whether she did say that, and if she did say that, I will also file a petition for her removal because then she cannot be asking for the constitution to be overturned. If Speaker Michael Quay is asking for the constitution to be overturned, he is no longer in office, but she is currently suspended but still actively in office, and so it will be grounds for her removal. So she should not say that. She should recant that if she did say that. Now, you've heard the MPP, the Bar Association, and their surrogates say all manner of things trying to overturn the constitution when it comes to this particular Chief Justice. Every single aspect of this they want to overturn and say that, oh, she should be allowed to go. Come on. Look, lawyers and judges, when found culpable of the law, should be the last to be excused. You know why? People say ignorance of the law is no excuse when it comes to ordinary man. Who knows the law? Isn't the person who has gone through legal training? You are a legal student, right? You even as a student, if you infringe, you must be held higher than him because he's not a legal student. So if your lecturer, who is a lawyer, infringes, he should know better. Now the practitioners, including especially those who pass judgments, those who have incarcerated people for life, for death, and so on. And the people who empanel those who incarcerate them, who should be let off the hook. So the Chief Justice, the highest bar, when it comes to Article 146, should hit her. Why are they lowering the bar for her? The Ghana Bar Association, why are you lowering the bar? In fact, they've lowered the bar itself. Not just the bar, but the bar, the Ghana Bar Association has been lowered.
Which of the bars?
The Bar Association. Maybe they were drunk. But the point is that the MPP friends of the Ghana Bar Association, who went and met in that mid-term whatever conference, that was rained off. I understand there was lightning and thunder. Most people left. It was just a few people, about 20 or so people out of about 5,000, membership. They met, and then they decided to say what they said. I think that association must be looked critically at. But look, bottom line is that the process must go on. Yes, there's great public interest in the matter.
Concerning Chikata Vomawo and representing the petitioners of the removal of the CJ.
So it is not out of place, first of all, to have Chikata Vomawo and Tadio representing the petitioners. They are lawyers, and just like any other Ghanaians, I can go and engage their services. We have engaged the services of Tadio before when I was in the MPP. For Madam Vicky Bright, we had an issue with Ahmedata, then the MP for Kakwe South, and Tadio was our legal representative or counsel. So it is very normal. You see, one thing people are failing to acknowledge with this whole thing is that they are treating the petitioners as people who do not know their left from right. That people that are just being called into or have been pushed to petition to remove a Chief Justice. It is important that the Ghanaian watching this morning is made aware of those that are petitioning as to whether they are people who can just be moved around or about by any whims and caprices of any political authority. One of the petitioners, there are 3 petitioners in this matter. We have Daniel Ofori, we have DSP Ayamga, and we have the Shining Star people.
He is a lawyer and representing himself. DSP.
Ayamga. Yes, and I don't think he's malleable like that. If you know Ayamga, he's a very tough customer that will never petition on a flimsy excuse. Mr. Daniel Ofori, he's one of the wealthiest people we have in this country. People don't know. He has shares in almost all the big banks that are in this country. He has shares in EcoBank, shares in Car Bank, shares in Spoditi0nèd, shares in SIC. But when he's working here, if you don't tell you that this is Mr. Daniel Ofori, you will never appreciate. So who can better have an interest in this country and for that matter the cause of justice than someone who invests hugely or heftily in our economy? Who in the NDC or within the presidency can just go and move Mr. Daniel Ofori about and tell him that Mr. Ofori, we want you to go and do our bidding? Who? In fact, his political lineage is to the NPP. So if there was anybody that wanted to play politics with the removal of the CJ, I don't think Daniel Ofori would ever allow himself to be used by this administration to get rid of the Chief Justice. If you read what he has said, the petition he sent, he raises 21 allegations of misbehavior. 21! 4 allegations of incompetence. So you cannot just throw it away like that. And mind you, his allegations are centered on a case that is currently in court involving himself as Daniel Ofori versus EcoBank. And if you take your time and go and read how the case started somewhere in 2008 and still is pending in court, it will tell you that there are certain matters that has to be addressed. And I see Daniel Ofori's petition as a petition that can liberate the business community in this country, that can liberate investors in this country, depending on how it goes. So we must always not throw away concerns of people. After all, he is operating within the confines of the law. The law allows any citizens. And I also disagree with anybody that thinks that it must be difficult to remove a Chief Justice. It must be the easiest job. It must be easy to remove the President of the land. It must be so easy to remove the Speaker of Parliament. I myself, I want the Speaker of Parliament to be removed. You remember the committee that he set on the MPs that went and destroyed chairs and microphones? What has happened to it?
Afenyo decided not to. In fact, he and his MPP caucus decided to boycott and make it impossible. They said they were going to make Parliament ungovernable, disruptive, and so on.
Yeah,
so
they did not.
And the Chief Justice, the Speaker is supposed to act sat aloof. So if I petition,
complicity or irresponsibility.
absolutely. So if I say I'm going to petition for his removal, why must it be difficult for the Speaker to be removed?
But then
You have 2 options here.
But that's fine. That's
complicity or irresponsibility.
But then
It must not be. Is it difficult to put in place a Chief Justice? The President nominates in consultation with the Council of State. The nominee goes to Parliament. He or she is vetted. She becomes the Chief Justice. Is it complicated? Why has it been difficult to remove her?
Once there's a prima facie.
And then the prima facie has been established. Nobody is interrogating the threshold for which that prima facie was established. But that is also not the problem of the President and the Council of State, because the Constitution does not mandate them to make it public to us. And just like a PDA was saying, why would anybody that believes in the rule of law now call for the proceedings to be held in the full glare of the public when the Constitution says it has to be held in camera. And the Chief Justice, the embattled Chief Justice, had known this all this while. What has been her position on this matter? So at best, what anybody calling for openness could do is to write a proposal to the Constitutional Review Committee so that the amendments or the revisions that they are envisaging will include making the processes of removing any Chief Justice open to the general public. But for now, you cannot just in the middle of the ocean come and tell us that we must disregard the Constitution. When the embattled Chief Justice has already told us the law is the law. No matter how furious you are, the law is the law. We subject ourselves to judges for them to do anything. You are being trained as a lawyer. I go to court a lot. And when you go there, sometimes the humiliation, the judge that will be speaking to you, as though he or she was created in a different world. Sometimes they speak garbage. But we take it as the gospel truth because they are mandated under the law to do what they are doing. We have been disagreeing with them all this while, but you can't kill them, you can't do anything because they are operating.
But you have the right under the Constitution and Article 2 to, if you have any challenge, to,
we have a lot of rights.
The Supreme Court.
We have a lot of rights under the Constitution.
Or even administrative injustice.
That is why this one I was telling you that the laws are meant for the poor. It is not for the rich. Because if
but there are institutions that have been put in place to protect you.
The Constitution and Article 36 tells you that the state shall take all necessary action to ensure that national economy is managed in such a manner as to maximize the rate of economic development to secure the maximum welfare, freedom and happiness of every person in Ghana. Are you happy this morning? What it means is that if your pocket is dry, you must be able to.
That's under the directive of state. Principles of state.
Have you been able to actualize this?
But I'm saying that if you have a problem, with the judicial system or how some administrative processes did not go your way, you can read Article 36.
I have been petitioning them. A lot of judges, they don't deserve to go nearer. They not just below, they must not even go closer to becoming judges.
And you have the right to.
But the rights are not respected by people. That's why you need cleansing of the judiciary.
Reset.
I'm telling you.
Not the cleansing of the revolution.
Using the legal means itself to clean it. The threshold for a judge, the bar, must be so high.
Yeah.
They are Kronkron, Merade. Holy Chief Justice. If what we are told by the Daily Post is anything to go by, though I have cited some documents to that effect, then the woman has a lot of issues to deal with. I had advised in the early days, knowing what I know on the street, that she would have been better served by quietly negotiating and exiting office.
You mean resigning?
Resigning. You understand? Because see, government has the machinery to be able to dig you in and out. The judiciary, the people that you are there with, you have a lot of enemies within. So everybody that was happy that Chief Justice Torkornoo was at position. So some of your omissions and commissions will definitely be known by them, and they will be willing to leak. And let us not also forget that the decision of the petition to remove this Chief Justice or the embattled Chief Justice started under President Akufo-Addo. Professor Kwaku Azan's petition was solid enough, but the former president played with it. If you go and read the reason why a prima facie case was not established, according to President Akufo-Addo, you will laugh. He spent more time castigating Professor Kwaku Azan for making the petition available when Professor Kwaku Azan said he did not make it available to the general public. And that the president was looking for laws within our statutes that can punish Professor Kwaku Azan for even allowing his petition to be made public. He wasn't concerned about the gravity of the issues that Professor Kwaku Azan was raising, but rather how the thing managed to get into the public domain. But if I bring you a petition, if I bring a petition to the presidency and it gets leaked, Can you blame Professor Kokwazaro for leaking it? Can't it be a situation where it came from you, or it could come from anywhere? The president was majoring in the matters.
Or the councillors.
Please come back for us.
Who was the head?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So clearly, there is something in motion, and I'm so happy. And at the end of the day, it is fairness that some of us are looking out. But that the woman has to be treated in all fairness. But if I were her, she still has an opportunity to resign and go home and enjoy her retirement. But if she will still follow these lawyers, these MPP guys who have tasted power and knows how sweet it is, and
Ghana Bar Association for no and I sabi and Guasia Kesi to say the actual more arches and who update about anything this bar just a certain level beer ye can say a whole and you hope don't be adding every bad in terms of the judiciary because the country judiciary in war form no country be can say democracy in war form now because of how judiciary in the democracy na kwa say our last hope for obia oni kama for no omone the ekebima nkrofo ayeden yesisi omno so ekoba ne sen na Ghana Bar Association omoboa through this democracy nyina enjoy no omo ase efebi no omo the constitution to work card for because these people no ye recognize them say omo nim the law omo nim niema e constitution so a bear surprise some crofo ya omo chere mra se ni mra did make sure say a man for ni fam running ye adwuma no na niema e constitution mo no efe bi no mpesa mo de hode ne to ba constitution ni nyina kabom ye ntutu bin film ni nyina ne kabom ne efe no constitution of Ghana's constitution if a BC president beat me at take action ABC must there be action in the beat me take it but action beni the permanent take meanwhile constitution and a man is mandate in so one year so omode enim go asie kese and bred that institution called Ghana Bar Association for so right now no the way I expose is neighbor no it is some very regret power because papa etin Ðenigṛatèd that institution because of how amoye den person mo protect someone ye hu say petitioners for bi o Ghana for hu say we dig Ghana burning, we incompetent and or misbehaving, and she doesn't fit to occupy that position. So also the Okofi. So I'm name the reason why I'm KBA or more Kebima Ghana. It's a Ghana Bar Association. More KBA Ghana, more KBA individual. I did just say hard we patches. This are exposing the about so Sabrian was said in here to know. This exposing a fraba. Now, Sabri, Afenyo mark and call for so idea or my DB. How much is it and want some AP against the speaker about Bagbin? Sanya man or my yellow. I just say NSA. About Bagbin to meet Sanana Queen Kesi Mokas. Oh, yeah, investigation we. Naya the whole media houses the camera call. Oh, yes, I mu committee vertical kentin PGP and Queen among Queen and out to form. So Mati committee some it's not on a lady. Or what may be with the reporter bar. And one punishment be Senator Rollins case by and also what's the punishment no more 1 week ultimatum. So one pakwana ba on a punishment in the be free as yaba. And we all know say Parliament House is your official place. And ye be a ketua. So to get an official speaker, we need deputy and as a second deputy. An official speaker out the Parliament House. Playing the role as a speaker. I didn't send to her. Emma or more I recorded in their hazard say for future references no near record we na to as I be voting proceedings and correction of one no every amana be ye official document, official statement. Now we now could the other. But 1 week in a trim data we should not trim more another business. Protecting some people. Na Ghana for your ability and make sure you people know mona mo yembra ma Ghana for this na wow yembra no fam ranye adwuma pesa Ghana for den edi mo mra na mo hyehyɛ so enye adwuma saa. So right now no petition akosi yenyi speaker Bagbin den enfri ho because sa position occupy no you see the diagram na Afenyo mark and microphone this trouble here no because my papa ne break too much. Bamba being sitting in him no Kenya or no akasabi can be your mind drone Kenya. Go for the time pencil. Nyemo de to acquaint boan mamma money for man as still no fairly. The Bena chaos because it was 137, 137 one my chaos and or making sure say be a bekuye now so MPP for Hannah dream trying to protect on one casan call for more Hannah. I'm as we na de akopie from my batches. I was some papa. I just say any answer get to her. We some free some update about the Chief Justice the Ghana Bar Association and some petitioner equity speaker Bagbin through the course of Afenyo marketing and Ďenigṛatèd NPP and personal. Who added Boba subscribe and share. Brawe TV no. Nema unia seen the in your for once.